Finding Cowboy is calling me on a video. What's he saying?
This one is for Asmongold,
okay,
who called this out, and everyone else. If you are so vehemently against the existence of microtransactions, don't play a single fucking game that has them.
Context.
I personally don't care. And no, I didn't talk about it in my review. And yes, people knew about this in the review. In the review email.
Okay, here we go.
In the review email in particular, there's a thing that says, before playing, please read the web guide and fact, which is like tidbits about the game, media review guidelines, which is embargo, and paid DLC guide available for download here. You download the paid DLC guide, and what it does is it shows you this in advance. So like people were aware this shit was coming.
What the fuck?
And the first thing I did is I pulled that up. I looked at it. I went, okay, deluxe shit, deluxe shit, deluxe shit.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Holy shit. Maybe I should have got a review copy. You didn't tell us anything? No, I had no fucking idea.
Ultimately, this is a nothing burger because you don't need to buy any of this shit. And I get it. You're upset that it's in the game regardless of the fact you don't need to buy it.
That's nuts. Yeah, I had no idea that they showed people that. I mean, I feel like if I had known that, I probably would have said something about it, right? I'd at least said something after the embargo was over.
But here's my thought is ultimately this boils down to the fact that Capcom has been doing this for 10 years. This isn't a surprise. Anybody that's played the game knows it's there. And the fact of the matter is you just ignore it. And I've seen people that are like, oh, well, if you're just ignoring it, you're, you know, endorsing it. You're letting them know it's...
You are. You absolutely are. It's not even a question. Of course you are. Obviously.
Just for context, if it wasn't already abundantly clear, Asmon is talking about himself too here. He is also effectively endorsing the microtransactions by playing and streaming the game. He never denied it. The fact of the matter is that whenever you're doing a review of a game, you really should call those things out.
So like people were aware this shit was coming. Don't play a single fucking game that has them. I don't care if it's single player or multiplayer. Let's not cherry pick. Let's not draw lines here. If you hate them that much, don't play World of Warcraft. Don't play fucking this. Don't play any goddamn game that ever has a micro.
What does this have to do with me?
And that's it. Because honestly, there's a lot of people I see here drawing a real hazy line where, well, I might have played it if
it's undeniable that if you play a game that has microtransactions that you're supporting the game and therefore by extension you're supporting the practice. This is a logically sound, consistent thing to say. I don't care because I like playing the game. Whenever you buy a phone, to some extent you are supporting slavery because the batteries in this phone are made with things that are in ways that are incredibly unethical. You think you're gonna give back your phone? No, me either. So we might not like slavery, but it's not all that bad, right? That's why we have phones. Everybody's got to draw their line at a certain point, but just because you draw your line at a certain point doesn't mean that you don't have you don't have to live a fantasy. Like you don't have to be fixated around being 100% like ideologically consistent. It doesn't matter if you are or not. You're not accountable to anyone. It's just a video game. It's your own life. Like, who cares? Like, what are you doing? It doesn't matter. It's just a game. But in the same way, it doesn't matter. It's just a game. You are absolutely supporting microtransactions. If I play Honkai Star Rail and I stream it, I'm supporting Honkai Star Rail. If I go to Walmart and I buy things there, I'm supporting Walmart. Just because I'm not buying the thing that's bad doesn't mean that I'm not indirectly supporting the practice and the machine that creates the bad thing. Now, I acknowledge that. I don't care. There is a point in which I do, and I make that decision for myself on a case-by-case basis. This is a completely logically consistent thing. How can you possibly argue against this? Let me listen to the rest.
I knew about them. Like, no. Sorry, I'm not playing that fucking game. All right? I'm 36. I don't have time for bullshit. Either the micros exist and you go, fuck them. They're useless. They don't need to be there. I'm not going to spend money on that and I'm going to enjoy my time. Or you hate them and you shouldn't engage with the product at all. That's really the two camps that are here.
I don't think that's really true. I think that there's plenty of people that dislike something, but they keep consuming the content. Like, for example, I'm sure that Fightin' Cowboys had problems with Twitch. Like, let's see. Well, he's complaining about Twitch right here. Main issues is they embed their Twitch. He's basically complaining that people are viewbotting on Twitch. But he's still streaming on Twitch. I left Twitch a while ago, and now he's streaming it. So he said he left Twitch a while ago, and he's streaming on Twitch again. Let me see. Okay, stream today. You get 85 viewers. So guess what? You complain about a website that you use. Like, I knew this would be the case. The logic that you can no longer express any discontent with a thing that you don't like inside of a thing that you still consume, this is something that you don't even believe in. You don't practice this either. Nobody does. That's not what he's saying. That's exactly what he's saying. Is that not what he's saying? I'll rewind it.
No. Sorry, I'm not playing that fucking game. All right? I'm 36. I don't have time for bullshit. Either the micros exist and you go, fuck them. They're useless. They don't need to be there. I'm not going to spend money on that and I'm going to enjoy my time. Or you hate them and you shouldn't engage with the product at all. That's really the two camps that are here. There might be a couple of people that are like, I love microtransactions.
There it is. He creates a black and white dichotomy that he himself does not even live up to in his own behavior. Because nobody does. Why would you say something that's so easily disprovable and so silly?
They're great. But nobody really says that. Like, I've never met a real person in actual life that's like, I love microtransactions. Please take more money from me. Nobody fucking does that. Okay? So if you hate micros so much that they're the bane of the industry, don't touch a single game with micros.
Well, they're bad. If you say that you've never met anybody that likes them, that means that you probably don't like them either. But you still play the game with them. Like, I mean, what's the point?
WoW might be an MMO, but guess what? It's fucking chock full of micros, Asmo, and I know you love your World of Warcraft. Well, it's a multiplayer. No. No.
What did he think I said?
Either you're against it and you don't fucking engage with it, or you deal with the fact that it's a necessary evil and you ignore it.
Well, I can't have an opinion about it? I can't dislike it? I can't say that it's bad? I mean, I'm not telling anybody that they can't do anything or they can do anything, but like, if I have an opinion about a game, like, am I not entitled to that opinion? Like, I care, like, it's real simple. I care about it, but not that much. Just because I talk about it doesn't mean that, like, I'm crazy. I think that's the way that everybody sees it.
Because it's not about, oh, well, if they're there, it's the propagation of the micros. If we don't yell, no. I'm not doing it. If we don't call it out, they'll keep doing it. They've been doing it for 10 fucking years.
Then don't call it out. Nobody says you have to call it out. You do whatever you want.
All the call out,
about me?
Vote against them. Vote with your fucking wallet. If you hate micros that much, don't buy any fucking product with them. That's how you deal with them. Am I going to do that? No. I'm going to fucking ignore them, and I'm going to continue having fun with games. But I'm not going to sit here and fucking wave a fake flag about micros are bad. Don't. The micros are evil. You should have told us, and then fucking scurry away to buy the next waifu skin on Genshin Impact. Because that's what a lot of you fucks are doing, if we're being honest here.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That doesn't make micros good. I mean, he's right. He's completely right. Yeah, totally true. Also, but one thing that's a factor, by the way, is Genshin is a free game that's continuously updated. You paid $70 for Dragon's Dogma, and it's not being continuously updated. It's two different situations. The way it's monetized is completely different. To act like a free-to-play game that's live service, how could it make money if it didn't have microtransactions? It's like tipping, for example. Like, people always tip whenever they get a haircut, or they tip in a restaurant, but you never tip whenever a person rings you up at a grocery store. Why is it? The person is doing a service for you in either case. It's because of the economic structure that it exists in. That's why. In the same way that people are more okay with microtransactions in free-to-play games that are live service versus a buy-to-play game with a AAA price tag that isn't live service and isn't getting new content. How could you possibly think the two things are the same? And also, like, by the way, I think that a lot of people would say that Genshin Impact is also dog shit for doing that. Like, I play a lot of games that I think are dog shit, for sure. Like, I mean, he streams on Twitch. He thinks Twitch has problems too. But it's really simple. People make a decision on, like, a category of yeses and a category of nos, and they just decide which one weighs more, and then based off of that, they decide either yes or no. And that doesn't mean that everything is yes or everything is no. Like, I like, there's a lot of games that, like, for example, like, I really like Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring is a great game, but there are things about Elden Ring I don't like entirely. I don't like, for example, like, all the caves are the same. I don't like that some of the bosses have, like attacks you can't really like sometimes like see very well, and like the animation holds. Like I don't like that, like delay attacks. That doesn't mean that I hate the game.
So either you're completely against micros and you don't deal with any of those fucking games, or you shut the fuck up and you join the camp that says these suck ass and we're not going to buy them. We're just going to ignore them. You don't get to play fucking micro martyr and pretend we're down with micros, we're calling it out, and then play games that have fucking micros. You don't.
Well, what, so I can't have an opinion about it? Like everybody has opinions about things that they still consume. What do you think? This guy's never had a bad opinion about YouTube or about Twitch? I just found things that he's complained about Twitch within the last year. And he's streaming, I streamed on there today. Now, I'm sure there's always a justification. There's always a, oh, it's okay. It's okay that I said this, and it's okay that I have this secondary thing. Like, he's a hypocrite. Yeah, he is. And like, and the thing is, he's not wrong for being a hypocrite. It's not. Like, but I'm just trying to prove that this value system that he has is not tenable. And this dichotomy that he's creating can't exist in real life. And it doesn't exist in anyone, including him. So, like, if you want to defend yourself because people are saying that, like, you are a shill for Capcom, don't bring me into this. Like, I didn't say he was a shill. I would defend him. I don't think he is. Why does this guy get to make the rules for how everyone's an act? Yeah, exactly. Like, why do I have to listen to him? Like, I don't give a fuck about this guy. Like, why would I... So I have to go and, like, live my life based off of, like, this, like, one-dimensional black and white, like, either-or situation that he's invented in his own head as a defense mechanism because people are criticizing him? Like, no.
Oh. So pick a fucking lane. Now, moving on to the microtransaction misinformation, because this is the shit that pisses me off. People are like, well, you're defending the micros. I've already established the micros are fucking useless. They don't need to be in the game. I don't care if they're there or not, because I'm not going to spend fucking money on it because it's stupid. But I don't like misinformation. Going back to the start of this video, like I said, I disclose my shit. All right? I don't have a fucking reason to lie. I don't need to lie.
I wonder how long it would take me. I wonder how long it would take me to find a clip of him saying something bad about microtransactions. I think he just likes microtransactions, to be honest. He says, honestly, this is 2017. I mean, this is a long time ago. But he says you spend $1,000 on Heroes of the Storm. I didn't even know you could do that. I think this guy might be the only person who does like microtransactions, honestly. That's what it seems. 2017 is a long time ago. Yeah, it is a long time ago, so who knows? Maybe he's trying to say that you can have an opinion, but when that opinion doesn't align with your actions, it's a hypocritical act. Yeah, it absolutely is. And it's not really hypocritical, it's that I care, but I don't care that much. Like, you ever go to a restaurant you don't really like, but at least it's open? Like, I do that with Whataburger every time I go to Whataburger. Yeah, like, we all do this. Like, it's just again, this is internet. The problem with the people that think like this is, like, this is internet logic. It's not real life. And the moment that you apply it to real life universally, it immediately falls apart. And it falls apart everywhere. It's internet philosophy, internet logic. It's made by virtue signalers on Twitter that are trying to go out on some speech.
Money is fucking ad revenue. I don't need to make money off sponsorships. Yeah, am I going to get extra money? Sure. But if you get a $100 bill and then someone's like, well, hey, if you fucking undermine all of your ethics, I'll give you an extra 10, you're going to tell them to kick fucking rocks.
I wonder if he's ever talked about, for example, like any of the things on Twitch, right? Like the hot tub girl section or anything like that. We all undermine our ethics for money, and he does too. You can't talk at this black and white.
So let's talk about the misinformation. And this is where my problem stemmed with all the shit going on.
Okay, maybe this is about me.
Because you can dislike micros, but let's not lie about what they are. The narrative here should honestly be the fact Capcom added a...
You're trying to do a gotcha on him so bad, though? Well, I think that it's true, though, right? And, like, the gotcha isn't to make him look stupid. It's just that this defense isn't a strong defense at all. And I think that if you apply this to a real-life situation, in any circumstance, you would immediately know that it's not tenable. It's not realistic to have this stance. And nobody has this stance, actually. And I could give 5 different examples of things that people do. It's not a logical defense. Yeah, this isn't logical at all. Like, it's not a gotcha. Like, he's not stupid. Like, I'm not saying he's stupid. I'm just saying he's just completely wrong. And there's no way that you can defend this position. Like, I'm not insulting him. I don't have anything against him. But he's just completely wrong. And his own behavior proves that.
Bunch of useless fucking micros into the game. If you have a problem with micros, don't play it. But they're useless. You can play the game and just fucking ignore them and show them that we don't care for this shit.
Okay.
But this post is suggesting a bunch of shit that's just fucking outrageous. So a review embargo wasn't placed until the release day. No.
It's 2 days before.
No, it was not.
Maybe 3, I think.
Release day was Friday, March 22nd. The review embargo was up Wednesday, March 20th in the morning.
That's 2 days ago. That's what I said.
This came out 2 days.
He's right.
2 days prior to release.
He's right.
Which is pretty standard in the industry. So no.
Yeah, it is.
Review embargo was not in place until release day. A list of pay-to-win items. No. This shit is not pay-to-win. I don't care if Rurikon thinks it's pay-to-win. This shit ain't fucking pay-to-win.
Of course it is. By the definition of by every single type of definition, paying to win, how do you define winning? I define winning as succeeding in your goals inside of the game at a rate that is faster than what would normally occur. Winning is not one-shotting the last boss, but if something can accelerate your progress in the game, or make that progress easier to do, it makes the game pay to win. Now, there is a spectrum of this. For example, by that definition, PoE would be pay to win. In a way it is, but it's not that bad. Just like this is not that bad. Being a 2 on the pay to win scale, which I think this is a 1.5, if anything. It's probably not even a 2, but it's on the scale. That's undeniable. Again, however you define winning, I think that in order to categorize this as not defining winning, as not winning, you have to contrive the definition so much that you are intentionally misunderstanding it to prove a point.
We're going to talk more about that, even though we already broke it down. Pre-order exclusives now unavailable were attached to the release.
Winning is against another player, bro? Well, then how can you win Super Mario Brothers?
They're called pre-order exclusives, dipshit. That's what exclusive means. And guess what? After you're about fucking in 2 hours into the game, the pre-order stuff, it's fucking
irrelevant.
trash anyway.
Yeah, true.
You replace it.
He's right.
It's like a starter weapon that has a little bit more damage on it than your other weapon. Once you
Wait,
get to
really?
like a new weapon, it's useless.
Did I get that?
Anyway, beyond the point. Pay-to-win items. Port crystal. Warp location marker. Obtain a port crystal, which can be set a destination of your choice. Use a fairy stone to instantly transport your party to the location. And I see a lot of people really confused about what a port crystal actually is. And this is part of the issue. So, and a lot of you are probably going to say, well, this is fucking stupid.
A port crystal's a car, the fairy stone's gas. It's easy to understand. I'm going to skip ahead.
Fairy stone, which you get a fuckload of these playing the game, is if you want to have that allows you to instantly transport to wherever you want. You're basically buying an additional checkpoint. Now, as I mentioned, you can get 5 of these that I know of in the game already. You get 1 for going up here and doing
Pay to win suggests that you are the very most at a disadvantage for not paying. The best argument is the res stones only values by players who struggle often. You are at a disadvantage because if you had it, you would be at an advantage. If you had more ways to teleport and move around in the game, that's undeniably an advantage. Do people even think?
a quest. You get 1 over here at a griffin
we got to move on. I want to just go play the game.
You get another one for when you're going out here.
Sure.
And then there's like a merchant over here that's going to sell them. So that's 5. And once you have them, you know, this is done. There's no reason to come back there.
Okay,
so
yeah.
The game, we also have the game. And so saying it's pay to win really doesn't make sense. Like on my New Game Plus playthrough where I'm all the way at the end, I literally have 2 of these just sitting in my fucking stash because there's nowhere to put it. So are you going to get one a little earlier? Yeah, I guess. But like, that's not going to really help you out that much. It would be a waste of money. Wake stones, pay to win. No. No, you get a fuckload of wake stones playing the game. I have 7. You also get this just playing the game early on, main story, and that will mark the location of wake stone shards.
So by your definition, time save is pay to win. That's a very loose definition. Yes.
The game,
easy to understand,
in-game gives you a tool to hunt down and have a near infinite amount of wake stone shards to make wake stones with. That's a wake stone right here, just sitting in the fucking capital. And on top of that, if you die, you know, let's say you use your micros, you wandered off, you decided to fuck around with the Chimera early on in the game, and you died. Oh, I better go to Steam and buy 5 wake stones. You think you're gonna fucking survive waking up? That Chimera is gonna bend you over 4 ways to Sunday and do it 5 more times. Like, you don't.
Well, if that was really true, then nobody would use wake stones. But wake stones are obviously useful. That's why they're in the game. Being able to instantly resurrect in combat is a huge advantage. How can you make the argument that being able to instantly resurrect in combat with no, what do you call it? With like full health isn't an advantage? Like, I'm tired. I don't want to waste my time with this anymore. It's just stupid.